to talk oily skin. I'm getting many people asking me for solutions. So I'm here to touch base on all types of oily skin so you can figure out what's yours and how to use our foundation, because it's a pro product, when you have oily skin. The proper way to apply the Botanical Foundation from Limelight by Alcone when you have oily skin. So the foundation is amazing, but you're not going to feel like it's amazing if it's not applied properly. So, good morning, good morning. Let me scroll down. There we go. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining. Deanna, Kayang. Hope I'm saying your name right. So yes, who here has oily skin? That's what I'm here to solve, those problems. Okay? So most people are probably going to catch the replay. I just want to dive right in because I have a lot of information to cover in a very short period of time. Hello, Joy. If you have oily skin or feel that you get oily wearing foundation, this is the live for you. So again, Candice Bertolini, professional makeup artist with over 10 years of experience, mother of 2 little kids, and I am the VIP or CEO of my own business. I'm a lead beauty guide with Limelight by Alcone, world famous professional products that have never been used before by the general public until now. Bringing you solutions for the everyday person for you to do at home instead of depending on the fancy YouTube videos that is not realistic for us everyday people. Okay? So if you don't know what to do or how to use things, I'm your go-to. Okay? So I have absolutely nothing on my face right now. I want to explain really quick. There are 2 types of oily skin. Okay? There's the perfusive oily skin that breaks out into cystic acne because you have bacteria going on inside and you need to clean that stuff that's on the inside out. Got a phone call, sorry about that. Then on the surface, you need to give yourself moisture, not dry it out, okay? Some people think, oh, let me buy products for oily skin that have like hyaluronic acid or retinols to strip away the oil, right? But that's the opposite. Your skin is actually dehydrated and is screaming for moisture. So it's going to keep producing more oil to hydrate your skin. So you're working against it and wondering why I'm using all these products for oily skin. Why isn't my oil going away? Okay? That's why. You need hydrating products. It's the complete opposite. So feed your skin the moisture so it says, oh, okay, I'm not thirsty anymore, so I don't need to keep producing more oil. Does that make sense? When you get acne or cystic acne, there's bacteria problems going on. Those pores, think of them as little tunnels going through. Those are getting clogged. They're clogged with junk. So that is causing a bacterial crap going on top of your face. So how do you clean that out? How do you do that? You need to first exfoliate with something, okay? I can recommend a couple exfoliators that we use, but again, use whatever you have. Exfoliate to clean out those pores and turn over all the top skin, all the top cells. You want to constantly keep turning that over to get rid of all that top stuff at the surface. Then when you use the right moisturizers and cleansers, it's going to have clear tunnels to travel down to take care of your problem. Am I making sense so far? Okay. Justinia, if you want to exfoliate, if you're really extremely sensitive, I would say 1 time a week, but you can exfoliate up to every other day if you want to. Okay, so if you've never done it before, start off with once a week, then maybe try it again in a couple days later and gradually work your way up to that, okay? For really bad oily skin, excessive oily, or for breakouts, I highly suggest Mask of Zen. It is a tea tree, let me see if I can find this, tea tree and clay, okay? Tea tree oil kills bacteria, and of course the clay is, you know, a big thing you're seeing, the clay masks, but it's going to sit there and be able to, I don't want to get all fancy, but it's just more of a healer, okay? It's going to kill off that bacteria. If you're not dealing with a lot of breakouts, but you're just a little bit of oily, then you would want to use our lemon skin polish. If you don't want to buy a name brand product, then make your own at home. Do sugar with extra virgin, raw, organic coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil. Just make sure that they're raw or organic, okay? Because then you don't want to be creating more problems. So that's number one, all right? Then there's just the, oh, I have normal skin, but as the day goes on, I get oily, okay? So that's more of, okay, maybe there's some things that you could be doing, like using pressed powders, using oil-free primers. Again, you want to exfoliate, and again, you want to make sure that you're using hydrating products. Most of the time, around this time, it's because your skin is drying out from the sun, and it's producing more oil, and your skin is clogged with the pollutants from being outside. So you really want to amp that up. Another suggestion is I highly suggest, I've mentioned this many times on my lives, is grabbing rose water, okay? I like this brand. You can get it anywhere. Multiple stores have it. This is great for oily skin. It is great for acne. It is great for rosacea. I'll just take this at my weddings, spray a little rose water either right on the face or on my hands. And again, right now I have absolutely nothing on my face. Okay, you would do this before moisturizer. Rose water, when using the right types, because there's a lot of foo-foo brands out there that have a little bit of rose water and the rest is chemicals. So make sure that you're buying legit products. Again, I can vouch for this. I've been using this for 10 years. You'll always see it on my station when I'm doing weddings. This is going to shrink your pores. It's going to tighten them, and it's a good skin refresher and also reduces inflammation if you're inflamed. So that is another thing I suggest, okay? Now it's time, okay, so you treated your skin and now you're like, okay, so at this point is where you would choose the moisturizer that's right for you. For me, it's Skin Therapist. Skin Therapist is great for dry and mature aging skin, okay? I use this also on my weddings because it doesn't have a greasy residue. So I use this on everybody, whether they're oily or dry. I highly recommend this because it leaves absolutely no greasy residue, okay? Again, you want to kind of press that in and really work it in. Avoid things that have oils in it. Use aloe. Aloe is also a skin healer, okay? So if you read something that has aloe in it, that's also good. We sell an amazing skin moisturizer that has aloe and kendi oil. And this is great for sensitive skin and really bad oily skin, okay? So again, you know, do your research, read ingredients, and make sure that there's like 5 ingredients in there. There shouldn't be a long list like this because most of the stuff that you're using has alcohol in it, okay? The skincare line that I represent, that I use, because it's my choice, is 100% organic. It's vegan. It's not tested on animals. It is a skin healer. I have seen such a huge difference in my skin since using a really good quality, no toxic chemical skincare line. So be careful. Cheaper is not better when you're in the drugstore and looking at all the wall of millions of products. They're clogging your pores or drying it out because it has alcohol in it, okay? Audra, can you say the name of your rose water? I can't see it. It is called Reviva, okay? R-E-V-I-V-A, rose water, okay? And also this has aloe. Again, aloe is a healer. And this word right here, I can never say it right. Hyaluronic. It's so bad. All that means is water. It's putting moisture. It's plumping your skin cells with water. So if you're ever wondering what that means, that's what it means. It's a natural skin plumper. Hello, Valerie. Thank you for joining. We're talking about oily skin and acne-prone skin or just regular oily people. So now that I did my rose water and I did my moisturizer, that's right for me. If you need more help, private inbox me because I can sit on here all day talking about skincare. And I'm sure if you're like me, you're just visual, you want to know facts, and you want to see me do some makeup, right? So if you need more of a one-on-one discussion to really find out what's right for you, whether it's my product or not, okay? I'm not trying to sell you my products. I know that I use great things and I have great affordable things to offer, but it may not be right for you. So if you are a lover of a certain line that you're using, I will be more than happy to give you my feedback. That is the truth, okay? So this is not a sales pitch. All right, so now I prepped my skin with the proper moisturizer for me over my rose water. So now, 2 things before we move ahead. You want to make sure that you're cleaning your tools. All right, if you keep, and I'm really bad when it comes to this. I know it takes time, but literally, you see me on with my sponges all the time. They're like gunky and dirty. Just take the minute to clean them, because if you're constantly putting old residue bacterial makeup on your face, then you're gonna have your breakouts. You're gonna keep getting oily. Okay, so I did take the time to make sure I washed this out today, and I like using this one. It is Come Clean and it's cleaning it with young coconut milk. Okay, so it's just a putty that I wet my tools with some water. You swirl it around in this hard putty that's made of coconut milk. Rub it in, squeeze it out, rinse it in the water, and you see all the gunk come out fast. This is the only thing that can get my sponges back to yellow. I've used Dawn dish soap for years. It's an antibacterial, and it breaks down oils, but it never got them as clean and conditioned as it does. And like I said, right now, being in my 40s, especially when it comes to my kids, I'm very into what I'm putting into my body, into my skin. There's too much cancer going around. Just throw out and get rid of the toxic chemicals that your body doesn't need. The FDA does not monitor half the stuff, any of the stuff that we're putting on our bodies. So take it upon yourself to really look into what you're putting on you, okay? Is this similar to the Masters brush soap? Valerie, I have no idea. I never used the Masters brush soap. I'd have to look online to compare it. And I'm willing to take a look at that, but I have no idea. Like I said before, this one, obviously, it's with my company, and I wanted to try it because I'm very into clean products. But for years, I was using Dawn. I was just using Dawn dish soap. And many makeup artists around the world use that because it was known to break down oil and break down bacteria. But I noticed that my brushes, and I spent a lot of money on brushes, would start to shed over time, okay? Hi, Marianne. Okay, so we covered clean brushes and right skincare and rose water and what to control for the right things for your skin. Now it's time to put on makeup, right? You're blotchy like me. You want to wear makeup, but you feel like it's your enemy because it's making you more oily. So this is what you would want to do. Less is more with oily skin. Either use the waterproof concealer that you see me do on every video with a little bit of your One Drop Wonder. Yes, it's a face oil, but it's not oil that sits on top of your skin. It's a food for your inside to heal from the inside out. It heals acne, it heals scarring, it calms down rosacea. It is like your miracle in a bottle. I'm not doing that one today though, but that's this that you see me put 1 drop into this waterproof concealer, and I just touch up my blotches, okay? So that's a way to wear minimal. But this video is more for the people that are interested in the Botanical Foundation or whatever foundation you're using, or you already have it and maybe you're putting too much on, or you feel like you're oily. It is not the foundation. It is your technique, okay? And this is what I do. I know a lot of people that use it for me. You know what, Valerie? I'll check it out. I definitely will. So how I like to use my Botanical Foundation. You need, again, this is not a sales pitch. You need an oil-free primer spray. We developed this years ago. This wasn't developed new with the company. This has been out by Al Cohn Company in New York that's been around for 50 years. The primer spray has been around for years. We use it in theater. We've used it on sets, on jobs, and there's a reason why. We don't want to use silicone-based primers that you're used to seeing that are like jelly-like, because all it does is going to help produce more oil when you're working with a high pigment foundation. The Botanical Foundation come in a cream palette because it's easy for makeup artists to travel with, okay? We don't want to go around with a bunch of bottles, okay? It's easy to travel with. It's clean because you scrape out what you need, and the pigment count is 50% compared to any foundation that you buy that is non-professional that has 14 to 21%. So what does that mean? It means that you need a lot more of that makeup because you need more pigment. It's filled with oils, it's filled with chemicals, it's filled with a bunch of crap that you don't need on your skin. So what I'm asking you is, in your mind, If there's higher pigment in this, what does that mean? It means you need less. You don't use more, you don't use the same that you were doing with your old foundation. So you use a little bit. So you take your primer spray, we made it a spray so you're not contaminating, so you're not having to touch your face. Or, so I don't have to touch a client's face, okay? You just spray it on. Now for really oily skin, I suggest doing 2 sprays. And I'm concentrating the spray in here. It's oil-free, it's tightening my pores right now, and it's acting as a barrier so this does not travel and seep into my fine lines and pores. Okay, you got me so far? Now I'm going to take my blender full. This is not made of cheap material, okay? It is a little pricey, and when you get it, it comes in this little basket carrier so that when you're cleaning it out and traveling with it or storing it, it's not laying around and getting bacteria in it. It stays in this little house, and I clean it and take care of it, and it lasts a very, very long time. So if you're that person that's trying to be cost conscious and running out and buying the bag of cheap sponges, you're gonna get cheap results. It's made of cheap material. You wanna use good quality brushes, good quality sponges, okay? So if you're oily or you don't like a lot of makeup, you want to use this damp. When you apply, when you wet it in your sink and wring out all the water and it's just damp, you're gonna get more of a fresh application, it's gonna blend a lot better, and you're gonna use less. If you use this dry, you're gonna apply heavier amounts of makeup. So if you're trying to get a full heavy coverage, then use it dry. But if that's not what you're trying to do and you're trying to calm down your oil, you wanna use it damp. You're just gonna take it and spin it in your color. I'm using Shinto 1, and you're going to stamp it in the spots of the main coverage. Then you're gonna start to blend it out. So that's why I feel that if you're trying to apply it with your fingers or a dry brush, you are gonna get cake. You are gonna get cake, and you're gonna go through your makeup so fast, okay? When you use good stuff, think of concentrated, good high quality products like laundry products, right? When it says concentrated, or you know, when you're making your own house cleaners, you only need a little bit, right? Because it's so potent and it'll last you a lot longer. So see how I just did that? And now I have nice even coverage all over my face. You can go under your eyes and get as much coverage as you can with your foundation, because maybe you won't need as much concealer, okay? I know you see in a lot of my videos, I do my foundation and I avoid my eyes. That's mainly if I'm using the One Drop Wonder Oil in the concealer as my foundation, because I don't want an oily product around here. So that's why I do that. But I didn't put any oil into this foundation, okay? So again, I just dab back in because I want a little bit more. And where do I want a little bit more? Just where my brown spots are. But I already blended out that first coat, so I'm just fine tuning. So see how I did that? And when this is damp and you're pressing it in and then wiping, so I press where I want the coverage, and then I pull down where I want to thin it out. Press where I want the coverage, and then pull down where I want to thin it out. You got me so far, okay? Then you can come in and spot check with your concealer. Candy, when I message you and ask you for a color recommendation, why do you recommend me 2 concealers? Everybody needs 2 concealers. I don't care who you are. You need one to correct, because everyone has red or purple tones in their eyes. If you don't got brown or dark circles, you got some red. You're human. You got blood flowing through your face. So you need one to correct and one to like either brighten or conceal. If you're that person that has like flawless skin around here, then you use the one shade of concealer, and the second one would be for highlighting, that you would want to brighten. So everyone needs some brightening or some fixing or some camouflaging, right? That's why we came out with that. So now, because you saw me do most of the work and with a nice thin application, now I can go in and spot check. So if I come in and look at my mirror and say, okay, what do I see? What do I need? I'm pretty much happy with my application, but I'm purpley red. I'm purpley in here. So I'm going to go in with my yellow corrector. This is concealer number 1 because yellow blocks out red. I say this in all my videos. I warm it up because it's wax. So I got to warm it up in my finger, and then I'll just lightly touch where I need that, okay? Okay, so again, this is not your basic makeup application. I'm just showing you how to use these 2 products, but we're not done on the oily skin tricks, okay? So now get it in there, just get some yellow in there, and then I'm gonna get the color of my face, because remember you need 2. So you saw me, I just took that red right out of there. So I'm gonna go into the color of my face, which is this one right now. So I'm gonna grab a little of that on my finger. You can use a brush, but if you use a dry brush, it's gonna go on heavier. Remember we just said that? Same with the foundation. It's gonna go on heavier. So I want it thin, so I'm warming up that wax waterproof concealer, and then I'm just tapping where I need it. You shouldn't be piling on makeup in layers because you want to just softly camouflage the imperfections to bring out your skin tones, okay? If you want heavy makeup, then you can, apply it heavier or apply it dry. But if you're oily or having problems, I'm showing you the correct ways to do it. Now, here's a great tip. So now at this point, if you're an oily skin person or you tend to get oily, after you get your foundation and concealer applied, you take a tissue, dry tissue, and you just come over and press. Press any of that excess oil where you would get oily first. Once you do that, you're going to take your 10-year setting spray. This is called the sandwich technique. And you're going to spray your face with this 10 years younger. This has aloe, this has rose water, this has so many nourishing components in here, plus your setting spray. Again, we took from Alcone, based out of New York, that's been around since the 1950s, the best products that were used from makeup artists, famous makeup artists around the world, red carpet, celebrities, did a poll, took our best products, which they carry thousands of products, and created that small amount to now have Limelight distribute, if that makes sense. So this is not new either. This has been around. This is the best formula. So we all did, the famous people that are in the industry did all that work for you, okay? So you don't have to go in Sephora scratching your head going, okay, there's Urban Decay, there's Kat Von D, there's Stila, there's Makeup Forever, there's Smashbox. Which one do I get, okay? It's all here for you. Took all the best, compared them, and do you know that some of the products, I can't say because I can get in trouble, but there's certain brands in Sephora that we collaborate, the Alcone. Certain brands, like our blushes and stuff, but we can't say, but we have the best of the best. So just please understand that. And you're working with high pigment, so you need a little bit. All right, so you saw me do that spray. Then you'll go in with your pressed powder. Translucent. Why is it white? Why is it called translucent? Why don't I use a compact? Compact pressed powders are foundation. You're just gonna add more oil on your face. You need translucent. It's clear, it's white, it has no makeup, no oil, nothing. It's just a setting powder. So you take a clean brush and you just pat, press and roll. Press and roll. In all of my demos, I'll tell you whether you're applying eyeshadow, blush, face powder, no matter what it is, when you sweep eyeshadow or sweep blush, you get a sheer application. When you press eyeshadow or press blush, it puts on more pigment, more makeup. So in this case, the translucent setting powder, if you're really oily, you want to press and roll because you're going to get more. So you can use a brush and press and roll in the areas that you know are going to get really oily, or you can take a dry sponge, not your wet one, a dry one, push it in there and press and roll, okay? So you definitely want to do that. So we're going to press that in. Then after you get that all pressed in, you are going to seal again. Now, my friend, your foundation, your concealer aren't going anywhere. They are not going anywhere. If you did all those tips, like I said, it's not going anywhere. And then you can go and start working on your face. But that's the trick for when it comes to oily skin. Those of you that jumped on now, you'd have to go back to the beginning to find out about skin, about face washes and cleansers and things like that. But that's the trick.